Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Dante Jones, owner of 772 Mobile Detail and representing Hustle Harder Than the Next. Today I'll be bringing you guys a pair of dirt road details, starting off with this Jeep that I've been doing for a long time now. As I pull up my client's history of appointments, you can see that there are several appointments on this list. This is not just me detailing this Jeep, I also detail for the rest of the family. If you guys recall, I have a previous video uploaded to the channel where I detailed a Ford Transit. I also do a Dodge Ram for this family, this Jeep, and a Ford Ranger. So I get an abundance of work from these clients, and it does reinforce my idea of working for the same client multiple times as opposed to always searching for new clients. In this video, I will also be covering a product I've been trying out. It is Hydro Coat by the brand Suds Lab. I am a huge fan of Suds Lab's wheel cleaner. I use their zero acid wheel cleaner on a daily basis at this point. It is a affordable yet effective product that I really like. Let me know if you guys have experiences with this product as well. But I figured since I use their wheel cleaner often, let me give their spray wax Hydro Coat a try. There will be plenty of time to talk about the wax later on in the video, but for now, what am I using on this interior? I am using the Express Interior Cleaner by the brand P&S. If you've been watching my videos, you've heard me mention this cleaner many times before. I do favor this cleaner for monthly clients or vehicles that are paying for just an express detail without any need for aggressive cleaning, right? This is a very light cleaner. It does work effectively on vehicles that aren't too badly dirty, but it's not something I recommend necessarily for vehicles that are very dirty, that require a lot more attention than this type of vehicle does. This is a monthly client. I really only have to do a once over on all the hard surfaces. There's no need for me to grab my scrub pad or anything more aggressive than what I'm using now. And overall, it's a very smooth and well-working chemical that I like to grab whenever I need it. Here on the channel, we've been growing at a very consistent rate, and I am very appreciative of the people who are showing love and support for this channel. I really do want to take this channel as far as I can, and with your help, we will definitely make a mark on the detailing industry. So if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That way we can grow a little bit more and continue making an impact here. I want to bring transparency. I want to bring honesty. I also want to bring guidance to those of you who have not established themselves in the detailing business, but are looking to over the course of time. With the interior finish, we're going to get started on the outside of the vehicle, beginning with the wheels and the wheel wells. And don't worry, I'll be showing the interior results as well as the exterior results with before and afters once I'm done with the entire job. But as you can see, I'm going to be taking my pressure washer and I'll be rinsing off as much dirt and mud as I can from the wheel wells and the wheels themselves. Make note of how I'm angling my pressure washer wand. After doing several vehicles like this, something that's very key is that you angle your pressure washer wand in a way that you're accounting for all of the dirt, right? Some of the dirt will get stuck towards the top of the wheel well and it can go easily unnoticed if you're not thorough enough, which is why I recently upgraded my wand to a shorter grip or a shorter end. So I'm able to get in those tight areas where I need to angle my pressure washer in order to get all the dirt off. Like I mentioned before, this is a monthly client and I do have to battle these wheels each and every month. What I found is much easier than taking a hand brush and scrubbing the wheels one by one is bringing in a drill brush and letting the drill do the labor for me. There's a lot of reasons why this is a very effective way to save energy and time. And I honestly don't see the point in using a hand brush on wheels like this, being in the business so long. So do not skip out on having something like a drill brush, especially if you're doing clients who live on dirt roads. It's very key that you have something that's a little bit more aggressive than a little hand brush, because you'll be spending all day or most of the job scrubbing tires and not necessarily detailing. I want to touch on the most important piece of equipment I'm using right now as I'm detailing, and that is my pressure washer. This is a Portland pressure washer. I got it from Harbor Freight for about $80. I was shocked when I was looking online to find on Amazon that it's selling for 130 bucks. So if you have a local Harbor Freight near you and they're carrying this pressure washer and it's for sale, definitely check it out and give it a look. It is definitely a pressure washer I recommend, especially for the price that I got it for. I got it for about 80 bucks at Harbor Freight. I'm not sure why it's inflated so much on Amazon, but it is something that I do recommend that you use if you're starting off in the detailing business. This is my 4th different pressure washer that I've used. All of them have broken at some point. This one has not, so I'm very happy with the results. And at the end of the day, it gets the job done. You don't need a 2000 PSI pressure washer to clean a vehicle like this. If I can clean a dirt road Jeep that was in this type of condition with this pressure washer at a high level, you can definitely clean the average client's vehicle with the same exact thing. It's cheaper, it's more affordable than the higher PSI pressure washers. It's reliable, it's lightweight, it is nice and small, so I can tote it around in my truck bed. And overall, I don't really have any complaints about it. So feel free to give it a look if you want to. But for now, let's get into the exterior agitation wash now that the wheels are done. After foaming up the Jeep, rinsing it off, and then foaming it up again as you just saw, we can now agitate the paint and feel pretty safe about it. When vehicles are this dirty, I always recommend that you do a pre-foam rinse just so you can get the majority of the surface dirt off the paint. Just rinsing it off with water doesn't always do the trick, as the mud and dirt tends to stick to the paint and trim. So do your best to take the extra precautions necessary to ensure we're not introducing more swirls or scratching into the paint by not preparing it first. Now you can't see on the angle that I'm washing this vehicle at, but I am doing a 2-bucket wash method. So I am taking my mitt to a side of the vehicle or a panel, depending on how dirty it is. And then I am going to dunk it in the first bucket with the grit guard at the bottom. Do a very thorough job at squeezing out any dirt or sand that may be left over, and then dipping it in my second bucket that is purely water on its own. This way we can get the mitt cleaned up and ensure that we're doing each and every pass of the agitation wash safely and effectively. So you can see that I'm now applying the Hydro Coat by Suds Lab. This is a ceramic spray that you apply as the vehicle is wet. You then pressure wash it off as you're working. So as I'm about to display now, you can see the water and how it reacts to my pressure washer without using the spray. And then as I apply the spray, you can see how the water sort of bonds to the ceramic spray itself, and I'm able to pressure wash it right off. Now, I've always said in a business sense that every client has their own story. In a detailing sense, every vehicle has its own story. So this story will determine how long this type of protection will last, as well as how well it will bond to the paint. And I have a couple more examples in this video of this Hydro Coat being applied to vehicles that are, for example, going to car washes repeatedly, or a vehicle that has never been detailed. In this particular case, example number 1, this is a monthly client. Whenever I acquire a monthly client, I like to create a hard shell, quote unquote, as the first application. So we're talking a wash, decontamination, including iron remover and or clay bar if necessary, and then hand application using the spray wax, such as, for example, turtle wax ceramic spray, right? I know this isn't the most top end and best in the world ceramic spray, but it is really good for the price, and it leaves a very nice gloss, and it has excellent water beating on the paint and glass after the first application. But as time goes on with any vehicle, the protection will wear off. I think this vehicle is almost due for another iron decontamination and hand application of a spray wax, and I will be doing so whether it's turtle wax or something else. I want to emphasize that this vehicle is not in perfect condition. This paint is not in perfect condition. I did not decontaminate the paint. This is just a real world example of me applying this spray to a dirt road vehicle that is maintained monthly by me that gets pretty beat up. And we saw what type of results that we got, right? I'm not drawing a final conclusion about this product based on the type of work that I did just through this Jeep, as this product may shine on another vehicle even more so, or it may do worse on another vehicle. There are factors, like I said, involved in detailing a vehicle that will affect how certain products react and work. Here's my second real world example, right? I'm not drawing a conclusion from this product based on this test. I'm just seeing how it reacts to paint that has never been detailed, right? I'm sure this vehicle has seen the car wash at some point, and maybe there's some form of wax that is left over potentially on the paint and glass, but from what I experienced during the job, I would assume that there is no protection on the vehicle. So we get a real test of how will a neglected vehicle take to this type of wax. So you can see this is me after applying the wax, and I'm now rinsing it off. And we can see that there is a high level of water, what I like to call sheeting, where the water kind of sticks together and doesn't quite beat up like you would like. And we can see right now, yeah, there isn't quite the beating effect that we experienced on the Jeep. So again, context matters when it comes to testing products. If you want me to review products at a high level on a quote unquote perfect vehicle in perfect condition, this isn't quite the video for that. I have a lot of content to fit in, but in the future, I do want to cover products in great depth like waxes to see what is most optimal for a detailing business like mine. Now, using that same express cleaner I used earlier in the video, you can see me going after this door panel now. What I like to do is I'll grab my scrub pad and I'll scrub areas that need it in this type of context where the vehicle is newer, but they're not necessarily a maintenance client. I see this vehicle about every 3 months on average, but it's on demand. They're not necessarily in a calendar rotation with me. So what I'm trying to say is it's not always necessary to scrub each and every inch of the door panel when you know it's in pretty good condition, right? Why scrub the door panel when you're just going to wipe it down and clean it for the most part anyways without needing to scrub? I choose to scrub areas that the client tends to touch with their body outside of the seats when we're doing an express detail, right? You also have to look at what you're paying for as a client. So if this client was paying for a full detail, I'd be scrubbing these seats the same way I scrubbed that area on the door panel. But since we're just doing the express for the seats, I simply do a spray and wipe down and move on. Working on the outside now, we're going to start off with the wheels as always, giving it a nice rinse because this is also a dirt road client. We're then going to spray down the wheel with my wheel cleaner, and then I'll begin scrubbing and agitating as needed. Now I'm going to be grabbing my bug remover by the brand 3D. I've used this product for about 2 years now, and I don't have a need to replace it. I feel like this has been the perfect product for me here in Florida, where we do get really bad bugs sometimes during the year. And I've tried other products before, but this one is pretty affordable and it lasts a long time. You can dilute it pretty heavily and it will last you a minute. And I really only have to buy it every 3 to 4 months or so, give or take, and I'm doing a bunch of cars. So if you're a new detailer getting into the game, definitely consider this bug remover. I definitely recommend. This is my third example of the hydro coat being applied to the paint, and this vehicle is detailed by me, like I said, every 3 months or so, but in between they will also take the vehicle to a car wash. So if I recall, 3 months ago, I did apply my own 6-month ceramic spray to this vehicle, but I have not maintained it myself. It goes to a car wash in between, and this could affect how this coating reacts. So you can see that the water went from sheeting up on the paint similar to the Traverse I showed you earlier to beating up really, really well. So in certain instances, this hydro coat is a very nice product, it seems like. In others, not quite. Now you may be asking, okay, if you applied a 6-month ceramic spray 3 months ago, why is it not still beating up after just the initial wash? Why do you have to follow up with a top coat in order to rejuvenate it? Well, there's some factors that go into why a spray coating that will say it lasts 6 to 12 months will short you. And I am sure to educate my clients on these points as well. It's a big part of my business, education. So let's talk about what could be happening. One, this client lives on a dirt road, so any protection I put on the vehicle is automatically not going to last as long, as the longer dirt sits on the paint and the dirt gets rained on, then dried by the sun, then rained on again, the clear coat gets clogged up and whatever protection that is on the vehicle is not necessarily going to show itself, right? I have a 10-year ceramic coating on my own personal vehicle, and I have my own experience with water sheeting up before it's even been on for a full year. But there's no need to panic, because the second that I decontaminated what was sheeting up on the ceramic coated vehicle with iron remover, it brought back the hydrophobic water beating properties that was originally experienced within the first day that I applied the coating. So never panic when you experience something like this. Sometimes it's mostly the paint being clogged up, or another case that may be causing this effect on the paint is them taking it to the car wash and the car wash using an improper soap. Now that the vehicle is done, we can take a look at the shine and appreciate the level of results we were able to achieve with the hydro coat. Again, I hope I provided enough examples for you guys to understand the type of product that we're dealing with here. Is it something you want to give a try? Let me know in the comments below. Have you tried it before? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? What are some drawbacks that you've experienced, etc.? Definitely let me know anything that you have feedback-wise in the comments. But for now, I want you guys to stay blessed, hustle harder than the next. Let's go into 2024 with our heads held high. Dante out.